There we go. Hey, that's way better. That's literally like a 1080p source right here. Hey, so if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's still a couple seconds left, so I feel like this looks like a pretty sharp stream. Aren't having any of the problems that we're having before. My problem before was that like my bit rate up was really, really small and I couldn't do very much. Like not something that you can really like pretty big deal. Like why is my audio so because like when I talk, it's like super quiet. Actually probably not. No, it's actually really quiet. Why is that so quiet? Oh wait, it's actually not very quiet. Oh wait. It's actually my volume is actually just really quiet because of my settings. My volume is actually just had like a little loop right there. Okay, well, it looks like I'm doing pretty solid. Like, I'm sorry for all of the looping audio and stuff, but I think the stream looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to see what happens when I launch Vanguard now. We're gonna see if the audio starts doing ridiculous things and if my CPU utilization jumps straight into the abyss of infinite. That's what was happening before, is I was literally hitting so many utilization of my processor that like it was just not going to be okay. So hopefully I'm lucky it's not gonna. Yeah, the load seems to have been balanced better. It like hella like made everything lag for a second. The game is way too low. That's my only problem with it, is it's way too low. But hey, like I lagged for like a split second and that's it. And like CPU usage is pretty high, but it will survive as long as like that's the gist of it. It's pretty crazy what happened though. Like the CPU usage literally went to like this aggressive hike that it went on. That like what do you even do? Hey, what's zone? Okay, is that already downloaded? Can I just play Warzone? To prevent abuse, we're requiring people to register a number, like to prevent abuse. You're sure that that's what that's for? Are you sure you're not for data collection? Oh, looks like I also have to install that too. And hey, like, I think like playing that other game and it didn't cause the craziest ever to happen. Oh,
Intel from the island disclosed Nazis hold up in the Alps, waiting out the storm with some weapon called Nebula. I couldn't let them use it, whatever it was. So I called in the cavalry and put together a team. When it came to scaling mountains and hard, cold Nazi killing, Task Force Yeti had mastered both. Come back with the Nebula.
Oh, not at all. We'll see you soon.
good. Let's skip that. We don't need that.
point. Capture the objective. Time to get lean and mean.
This is really like,
Hard point.
I don't like how this looks.
Hard point activated. The enemy has taken the hard point. We're in the lead. Enemy has the hard point. We control the hard point. We control the hard point. We lost the hard point. Recon airborne. Eyes up. Hard point activated. We control the hard point. Hard point is ours.
There we go. That looks way better.
The enemy has taken the hard point. Hard point confirmed. We control the hard point. Hard point activated. Hard point is ours.
Bad.
Recon aloft. We got eyes. Hard point is ours. Lost the hard point. Enemy has the hard point. Hard point.
I think 50% should be good.
We control the hard point. Hard point activated. Hard point's under fire.
I'm so bad.
Hard point's under fire. Grenade! Enemy has the hard point. Contact at the hard point. Contact at the hard point. Always bounce back. Hostile close to the zone. Friendly bombs on the way. Hard point confirmed. Hard point activated. Hard point is ours. Hostile fire forces incoming. Enemy has the hard point.
That's garbage. You just don't even have an opportunity. I literally... Okay, make the game a lot of fun. Just be inside of this thing where you just make people blow up. Here we go, and another one from this guy. Ooh, all of that skill. Oh, so good at the game. This game has always been angry.
Hardpoint's under fire. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint confirmed. We control the hardpoint. Hardpoint activated.
And I didn't even realize that person was standing
Enemy
there.
has the hardpoint. Sweeping the sector. Hostile strafe inbound. Hardpoint's under fire. Hardpoint confirmed. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is ours. The enemy is taking the hardpoint. Enemy care package inbound. Friendly bombing run on the way. Hostile dogs in the zone. Hardpoint is ours.
I can't play this game.
Contact at the hardpoint. Enemy has the hardpoint. Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint is active. Hostile flying fortress incoming. Enemy is taking the hardpoint.
There's nothing.
Contact at the hardpoint. Catapult, get out! Contact at the hardpoint. Contact at the hardpoint. Hardpoint located. Contact at the hardpoint. Victory ain't no mystery.
always something I forget to do. Then I don't have problems with it. Because it's like always the audio is so annoying. Doing some shopping. Go ahead. Like, what is a really nice, comfortable mouse pad? Because my wrist hurts so bad. Two nerds there. Look at that.
Flexed or to extend it. The pressure I mentioned about it can act from there. Worry so much about
Talking about whether or
What's
not
up,
we
guys?
should
I'm
do
Random Frank
stuff.
P, and today we're gonna be checking out my top 5 favorite gaming mouse pads from this last year. Is talk about them so you can get a better down below. Now, obviously, this like navy blue and yellow look really isn't good because unique back. you got a lightly mouse pad. Perfect. You had your desktop you'd use. We're all having the format of so come
That's not gonna help my wrist.
Here's a speed rating. And I just found with the mouse underneath very this mouse pad's not gonna show lighter like no speed and just to have the use to big raw as it does where super fast. And I'll take it a step further. If you're using ceramic feet, you know, I know there's Alexa ceramic feet out there that are round. Glorious has their G floats. If you're using that with this, it's a 10 out of 5 in terms of speed, and I'm not kidding.
Yo, this is your first time here. Welcome. Been here before. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about a very strange contraption, which is this little thing. Odd. So just want to note to start off with that if you don't suffer with any type of repetitive strain injury or any type of chronic pain in your wrists or hands, this video probably isn't the one for you. And if you're just looking for something that looks good, well, as you can probably tell, as I'm showing you straight away, it's not the nicest looking thing in the world, but that's not what it's for. This is for productivity specifically, and this is to help anybody that has a repetitive strain injury, any signs of carpal tunnel, or just gets general pain and would like to alleviate that from when they're gaming and doing stuff. As always, well, since the last time I've done a video, we went over 600 subscribers, which is mad. So while you're here, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to click the subscribe button, get us up to 1,000 by the end of the year, maybe, if I can continue to make any more videos, that is. But yeah, drop a like, drop a comment, tell me what you think, but let's get to it.
This guy's video, the music.
Silver casings on these two little white balls that are what? That's the only smoothly, but yeah, especially. Let me know what you think. But anyway, relatively short and sweet here, and you can move like this. But essentially, that's what it sits like. So it sits here in the palm of your hand, quite bulky, but it is good. So on the top, it has a kind of felt texture. It's got these little triangles in here for grip and stuff. It's kind of like felt. That's the only way I can really explain it. And it's a kind of dark bluish colour. Then on the bottom, we've got, it's almost a rubberized plastic texture with some writing on here, the mouse cradle. It's got the patent number, made in Canada as well.
Yo, this is your first time here, welcome. Been here before, welcome back. I reached out as honest content, have a look, leave.
Also sent me a nice cool desk pad. Pio. There she is. Nice little grey number, quite sleek. Fast little feet underneath it. That everyone at Delta Hub is really enjoying and I like it.
It's kind of a table in a larger version. It develops fast and tactile type, and then you move because of the worker and that black one and it's 100% worth a buy. You just go for it. That's all. So.
While you can. And the last thing, scripting, positive pressure on your wrist so it's not fatigued. But what I really like about this over other wrist rests out there is the fact that A, it's contoured to the bottom shape of your wrist, but also it moves along your desktop. So while you're using your mouse, it's naturally just gonna move with you. And I know you're gonna ask, technically if you want, you could use it with gaming. I wouldn't recommend it, 'cause it's only gonna kind of like slow you down and stuff when it comes to those like quick flicks and stuff. So I only use it when I'm browsing and video editing. I legit saw an ad on Instagram, picked it up for myself. Like I said, a lot of you have spotted it in the background of my videos, so I figured I'd show it off. It is 29 euros or 32 US dollars.
Hey, what is up, guys? It's Stan here. Talk actual computer series box like for this wrist stationary mouse, or now if I find that middle, so right here is kind of squishy, but kind of
This
hard.
exact
And,
same keyboard
that would be a
is-
lot more comfortable than putting your hand on a rigid, albeit ergonomically contour to your wrist, or your hand, but it's still hard of a material, and it's not very comfortable to, put your hand down on something hard at all times. I know it's meant for ergonomics, but I still think that they could have made it something a little bit more squishy. Although, if you go with something softer, then it's gonna wear out much more. But I feel like maybe you can get some kind of replaceable tops. Just maybe it's a version 2 that they can put out, but it'd be a lot more comfortable if it was just that much more softer of a material. So overall, I think this product does achieve its goal in making you raise your palm right here a little bit more to relieve pressure off of your wrist. What I have found is that while using it, I have a little bit less tingling sensation, a little bit less discomfort in my normal day-to-day usage of the computer. So I guess what I'm saying is this product does seem to work. It seems like there could be some optimization.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
Hi friends, welcome to Victor's Reality. In today's video, we'll be unboxing and reviewing and comparing I still love this product. I will still continue to use it, but in the future, I will be using this one. If I remove this one, you can just remove this. Probably put this up here. So when you're gaming and it doesn't move, the base really helps. Plus, this mouse pad has rubber holdings on the side, so you can't really move anything. So this is more comfortable overall, but the other one, the one that comes with the razor, it's really soft. It's memory foam. I would prefer everything to be memory foam, and there are some online that you can get that are memory foam. We'll just have to do with these for now, since these are not memory foam. It's just the core foam, but it gets the job done, and I prefer the wideness over the small diameter of memory foam. So that's that. Now if we compare the wrist rests, again, this is a strong 8 in softness. This would be, look how thick that is. It is a big difference. It's huge. So this, again, is a core foam. It's not memory foam like this one, I believe. It's core. You could feel the individual pockets of air, but not to the point. I mean, you could only feel it if you do this, but not if you're playing or anything. Of course, I would prefer this over this one because it is softer. It gives you a much more diameter on your wrist. You can go like that, however you want to play, and it fits perfect with the keyboard. Again, it's really soft, a lot of wrist rest space.
Needed some help.
that helps to make for long that product is not right now, and you can the Delta Hub original Carpio hand and one for the right hand, and also this mousepad that I'm going to talk about. The Carpio, the first material made with hand, then the middle layer attached allows you for the Carpio 2.0 is to avoid wrist pain and related injuries while using mouse and keyboard because of repetitive movements. This product lifts the hand off the table, allowing us to use the mouse without our wrist touching the desk. This is the most unique feature that I ever seen in a wrist rest. But from a gamer's perspective, is the Carpio 2.0 good for gaming? The answer is yes and no. Well, it depends on the game that you are playing and how you move the mouse. If you are an FPS player, there are two scenarios. The first one is that you play with high sensitivity and you just make small movements with your wrist. The second one is if you play with low sensitivity, like me. Because it's low sensitivity, I have to move my entire arm and lift my mouse to reposition my aim quickly. In this case, when I lift the mouse, the Carpio 2.0 just slide off my hand. If you play without lifting the mouse, then you don't have any problem. You can shake the mouse how many times you want and the Carpio is going to be stuck to your hand. For mobile players, or if you are just using your computer for work, then the Carpio 2.0 is an excellent addition to your daily use. One thing that I noticed when testing the wrist rest is that I tend to move the mouse backwards with my fingers and the Carpio won't let me go further. And the other thing is how the mouse and the Carpio slide on the minimalistic desk pad that Delta Hub sent me. Actually, the mouse slide better than in the regular mouse pads. The only thing that I don't like is that the material can be very harsh to the skin, and that for me is enough reason to not use it. I personally prefer smoother surfaces. In conclusion, I think this product is excellent to prevent
So people are not only not buying GPUs now, they are even returning them. I've never seen these many open box NVIDIA GPUs. That means that people bought them, saw the prices falling, they regretted the high price, and now we're going to be left with not only a lot of brand new GPUs finally in stock, but a lot of open box GPUs in stores like this as well. Today, we're going to talk about which GPUs you should definitely avoid buying now, especially with RTX 4000 potentially coming out at the end of the year, but we're going to see which ones are particularly bad value. The first one, look at this, an RTX 3080 12GB. In same generation, NVIDIA took the 3080 from the best value for performance GPU in the 10GB model, 12GB model. You're going to have the crypto and a lot worse or that's available. To be fair, their price difference is often the same, or only a few. The 3090 will go. As far as I'm concerned, LHR and dollars, maybe 1100 range. If 3080 12GB, getting a little better performance, but the performance for your dollar has massive diminishing returns, and quite frankly at that level it's just not worth it. So better to find something more in the middle. That way when something faster does come out or prices continue to fall, at least you're not better yet. The 6800 XT, I've seen some for around $1,000. If you can
Welcome to my mousepad buyer's guide for gamers, featuring my personal collection of mousepads. Kick back and relax. I'm about to blow your mousing mind and explain the
So something that I got asked, how many people I recommend to talk about today. And I think mousepads recently have been on this sort of trend of things to consider upgrading if you're into first-person shooters like myself and you've run out of things to upgrade. And part of that, I think, is trying quite a few, like, terms are pretty have like pads with a lot of stopping power. Be fairly questions that I get. So we will get off the. It's simply so on my first mousepad, a bit more serious that I really enjoy using today. If you told me that, hey, you have to throw out those artisan pads and never use those again, maybe go back to the G640 instead, I would be totally okay with that. And I think, honestly, if you just want to pick up a decently good pad for first-person shooter games today and without thinking too hard about it, this is probably what I would recommend. In terms of friction, you're looking at a medium glide speed, which is fairly average in terms of stopping power and control, which honestly makes this pretty suitable for a lot of different FPS titles. There are pads on this list that are a lot faster than the G640 and some that are a bit slower, but the G640 is just really good at being an overall good no-frills mouse pad. This is also a really popular option for pro Overwatch and pro Apex players, and also a lot of Valorant and CS players too. In terms of durability though, that's kind of one of the downsides of this pad. This is a pad that does slow down a little bit more the more you use it. Having said that, for most people, I think that breaking in anyway, which just kept running out, so much bigger and a lot more control. This is one of the most used mouse pads across CSGO and Valorant because it pairs pretty well with the aiming style in those games, which is steadily holding an angle one at a time. And yeah, this is a very control oriented and slow pad. Tons of stopping power on this thing, which will help you snap to targets as tight as possible, but continuously tracking a target is quite tough. So for games like Apex, for example, where you're continuously tracking an enemy, you do feel like you're constantly like fighting the mouse pad and, you know, fighting that stopping power on the GSR, and the result is that your cursor ends up feeling a little bit jittery. I also found that since there is so much damn stopping power on this thing, micro adjustments are very, very hard to correct. So like, let's say you don't land your shot perfectly, and let's say you over aim or under aim, you know, correcting that, especially if you're on a moderate sensitivity or a fast sensitivity, you know, that is really, really difficult. And what ends up happening is that you tend to overcorrect. At least that's my experience with the GSR. Still though, if you exclusively play CSGO or Valorant and you're a low sense player, this is a pad that you might want to consider if you want something with a ton of control. But now let's talk about the Artisan mouse pads, which is what I think most of you are probably here for. You know, I think Artisan mouse pads are super, super hyped up, probably about as hyped up as mouse pads can get. And so the big question then, is that hype justified? And I think in terms of build quality, yes, these are some of the most premium feeling and highest build quality mouse pads that you'll ever see. The stitching on the edges is perfect, the rubber edge is the grippiest that you'll probably ever find, and it comes packed completely flat, so there's no rolling out or anything like that. The XL size of the Artisan pad is also perfect in my opinion at 490 mils in width, so running out of space is something that rarely ever happens. Artisan pads also come in 3 different hardness options: extra soft, soft, and mid. Extra soft being the softest and slowest of the 3, and mid being the hardest and the fastest. To keep things simple, the 3 Artisan pads that I've tried are all XL, and they're all in soft as well, and honestly probably wouldn't have it any other way. So the first Artisan mousepad that I tried was the Zero, which I think is one of their slower mousepad options. I think it's their second slowest option. So as a control pad, it's really, really good for games like Valorant and CSGO. In terms of glide, it is a little bit slower than the Logitech G640, but noticeably faster than the Zowie GSR. Now, in terms of durability though, that's where I think it is a much better option than those two. Whereas the G640 and the GSR have what is kind of known as a break-in period, so after a couple of weeks, the pad is kind of slowing down until it feels eventually just pretty consistent for the next few months. The Artisan Zero feels exactly the same as the day I bought it. That's saying a lot because I've been using this one pretty much every day for quite a few hours for about 2 months. One thing that I do not like about this mousepad though is when it comes to cleaning it. So usually cleaning a mousepad is pretty simple. Grab a lint roller, roll all the dust off, and then the surface should be nice and smooth again. With the Zero, a lot of those tiny hairs and dust fibers, they just get stuck and embedded in the pad, which is really, really annoying, and you do feel them when you're using the mouse and swiping from side to side. So yeah, maintaining the clean surface of the pad is pretty difficult the more you use it. Some people probably won't be bothered by it, but for me, you know, having OCD and just feeling little bits of fibers on the mouse pad, it is really, really annoying. I think eventually it would get to the point where you just couldn't get the Zero back to its brand new condition. That is not a problem though on the next mouse pad, which is the Artisan Hayate Otsu, again in soft, extra large. Now the Artisan pad, a little bit faster than the Zero, actually noticeably faster, but you still have a bit of control and stopping power. In my experience, this pad has been absolutely unreal for games like Apex, where most of the time you're continuously tracking a target non-stop, and that style of aiming just feels incredibly smooth and uninterrupted on the Hayate Otsu. Now, if you mostly play games like Valorant and CS, this is probably not what I would recommend. There's just not enough stopping power and control, and landing headshots is actually kind of difficult unless you have insane mouse control. Again though, for Apex, maybe Fortnite, Call of Duty, Battlefield, those kind of games, this is like the perfect pad. Movement just feels amazing, and just the smoothness when it comes to tracking, it's unlike any other pad that I've used. The next 2 mouse pads on this list, I don't have as much experience with, so in terms of giving like a long-term user review, I don't really have anything for you, but simply they're just too fast for me personally. So I use these for a couple of hours, and yeah, I was like, nope, I'm going back to the Hayate Otsu for sure. So this one here is the Artisan Heian. So quite a bit faster than the Hayate Otsu. It's like a noticeable jump in my opinion, with equal trade-off in terms of control and stopping power as well. So yeah, a bit too fast for me personally. I think my aim on this thing is not great at all. It's just really inconsistent and unstable, and I also don't like how grippy the surface is when it comes to hand and arm contact. I might give it another shot down the road though, because I know a lot of people love the Artisan Heian, but for now I think the Hayate Otsu is the better pick for me, and for most people probably overall. And finally, the last one is the Razer Strider. Again, not too much time on this pad at all, but you know, quite a bit of hype behind this one. It does try to emulate the feel that the Artisan Heian kind of goes after. So it has that textured feel, although this one is a lot more textured. And believe it or not, it is actually faster and has less control than the Heian as well. So again, that kind of speed is not something that I'm really a big fan of. Honestly, I kind of struggle to find a scenario or game where you would want to trade off that much speed and control. I do think even for games like Apex, where you are mostly moving the mouse, you do still need some control and stopping power just to kind of control things and keep things moving in the right direction. And then again, in terms of like the sandpapery, grippy texture, it's just not a comfortable pad to use in my opinion. If you're someone who like rests your forearm or the bottom of your wrist on the pad, you do get that kind of grippy and stuck feeling, which is not the most comfortable feeling. So that pretty much wraps up my overall thoughts and experiences, but now let's talk about some recommendations. So in a perfect world, I would say that this right here is probably the #1 mouse pad in my opinion. For most people, when it comes to like a range of FPS games, the Artisan Zero. It's just really balanced in terms of glide and control, not too fast, not too slow, but just gives most people, I think, what they're after. The only problem is that it's pretty much out of stock. It's like the out of stock pad. It's becoming really, really popular as time goes on and maybe more players use it and more people become aware of it. But unless you have like the Discord link for the Artisan stock notification, you're probably not going to have much luck getting your hands on an Artisan Zero. So, if you just don't want to mess around with any of that stuff, I would probably just recommend getting a Logitech G640 instead. So again, G640, a bit faster, but once broken in, it's a very similar aiming experience in terms of the glide and control. It also stays way cleaner and it's like half the price. So the G640, excellent option in my opinion. Plenty of pros across different games are using it and their aim is insane. And the last of, I guess, the top 3 list, if you want to call it that, is if you want something a bit faster without trading off too much control, I would recommend the Artisan Hayate Otsu. Again, a bit hard to find, but definitely not as out of stock as the Zero. I got this one from eBay, and for games like Apex specifically, I think this is the mousepad to be getting. Tracking just feels insanely free and unrestricted, movement feels great, and the overall quality and cleanliness of the pad is just unmatched. So that pretty much wraps everything up. I will link these mousepads down below for those of you who are interested. As always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
The script calls for me to say this isn't running very well, but it's fine. We love building, benchmarking, and gaming on the kinds of showcase 1%er machines that most people can only ever dream of. But as much fun as that is, the vast majority of those rigs actually get torn down for reuse in future videos because even for us, daily driving that kind of hardware, it's just not cost effective or practical. It also kind of gives PC gaming a bad image as something that only the elite can afford, when that couldn't be farther from the truth. We've built competent esports gaming machines at great prices and even for under $100 on this channel. And you can too, if you're willing to make some compromises. Of course, the kinds of machines that the average gamer is running are somewhere between Potato and Dream Battle Station. How do we know this? Well, the monthly Steam hardware survey, which tells us exactly which PC gaming hardware is the most popular. So, with its help, we built the most popular gaming PC on the planet, and we're gonna show you guys exactly how much it would cost you to build it and what kind of performance you can expect. And today's video is brought to you by Corsair. The Corsair iQ 5000X RGB tempered glass smart case features their rapid route cable management system, smart RGB out of the box, and more. Check it out at the link down below. That's right, we've got one. A quad-core Core i7 4770K. According to the Steam hardware survey, 42.94% of you are rocking 4-core processors, with 18.03% of you running a hyper-threaded model like this one between 3.3 and 3.69 gigahertz. Nice. It turns out then that as much as we all love Ryzen right now, AMD couldn't possibly even manufacture enough of these things to put a dent in Intel's years of dominance, and as of January 2021, Team Blue still owns 72% of the install base. Now, that number is shifting, and fast. Intel is down almost 10% since December, but it's gonna take time. Since motherboard choice shouldn't impact performance much, we grabbed a Z87i Deluxe from ASUS that was lying around on a shelf. This combo should put us in the top range of average CPU performance according to the survey. It was important for us to find something with hyperthreading, since just shy of 20% of you apparently do have it. It's kind of amazing how long this chip has kept its relevance, and we actually checked out some reviews on Newegg and PC Part Picker leading up to this video, and it's mostly super positive, like even as recently as a couple of years ago. In the interest of strictly adhering to the specs in the Steam hardware survey, we're unfortunately going to be running this puppy at stock speed, but lots of users of this CPU report running it at 4.2, 4.3, or even 4.4 gigahertz for years at a time. That's not too shabby for a CPU that's older than our new social media coordinator. Memory was a surprising one for me. The average gamer out there, a whopping 43.85% of you, is running 16 gigs of system memory. Not bad. So we picked up two 8 gig sticks of good old-fashioned DDR3 1866. This is actually a great middle ground today. You can still squeeze by with 8 gigs, but most AAA games are recommending 16 gigs or more, and a lot of other desktop applications can also benefit from more.
What the heck are you even watching? Oh. So, what I am finding. That one? I think it was that one. Hey, oh, there it is. Like. Blah, 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 blah. So. Here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. We've done it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay. I'm about to restart. Be back, and after that, I'll probably be doing something else. I am trying to troubleshoot what's going on. I think my CPU temps are really high, so it's going a load download case. I want to see if that's the case. I'm shutting down everything and going through my BIOS settings because I can't control through anything but the BIOS right now because I'm in a VM.